Let's start. Today we're covering the last part, our lesson, life in South Asia. Today we're covering the part of the challenges. What kind of challenges meet people that are living in South Asia? We have plenty of challenges, okay? Ahmed, start with the first one.
The long-standing conflict between India and Pakistan over the largely Muslim territory of Kashmir
Hmm?
and the area containing the headwaters of the Indus River is one source of conflict. And
Oh,
both countries want to control the source of the river.
mhm.
And today, control of Kashmir is divided between the two countries.
Thank you
And
very much.
okay.
Thank you, that's it. Okay, so the first challenge that Ahmed mentioned is the long challenge or the long conflict between India and Pakistan over largely Muslim territory of Kashmir. Why Kashmir is very important? As Ahmed mentioned, why Kashmir is very important? Who can tell me why Kashmir is very important? Judy?
Because the area contains headwaters of the Indus River.
Yes,
The-
it contains the headwater or the main sources of the headwater of the Indus River. And as you know, river is very important for farming, which is the main activity in which country? The main economic activity in which country? Hannah Durgham? Hannah?
India?
In India, thank you very much. So we need, every country wants to control the river. And now what's the situation now today? Noor al-Mahi, what's the situation now?
Control of Kashmir is divided between the two countries.
I'm so sorry to disturb you while having your breakfast, but thank you very much. Yes, the control of the two countries actually is divided between the two countries, India and Pakistan, which has results in a tragedy. What kind of tragedy that they're facing today? Okay, let me see. Maya?
Miss, can you say the question again?
I'll say it again. After the control of the sources of the river and the control of the territory of Kashmir is divided between India and Pakistan, it has resulted in a political conflict. What is it? Or a tragedy? What is it?
Two of India's prime ministers have been assassinated in recent decades.
Yes?
Complete?
Yes, complete. And the second one?
Okay, fine. Both prime ministers were killed by extremists who opposed their views. Another issue in India involves suppression of the Delta, or so-called
Daltis? Yes.
untouchables.
Yes. So the first one actually, or the first political conflict, which has resulted in a tragedy. Two of India's prime ministers have been assassinated in recent decades. Indira Gandhi, and you know that she's the daughter of Gandhi, of course, and her son Rajiv Gandhi in 1991, both prime ministers were killed by extremists who opposed their views. So the first tragedy was the killing of the two prime ministers of India. And the second one, who can repeat about the second one? Hannah Hamdi, the second issue.
Okay. In Sri Lanka, Buddhists and Hindus
No, I'm
engage.
still talking about the second tragedy in India.
Okay. For centuries, these people have been discriminated against as outcasts, barely clinging to the
No,
lowest.
Hannah, I haven't moved yet to the second part. We have mentioned the
Yeah,
first tragedy with the killing of the prime ministers. We have another issue in India. Involves what?
It involves the oppression of the Dalits,
Dalits, yes.
or so-called untouchables.
For centuries. What's happening? These people have been,
They have been discriminated against as outcasts, barely clinging to the lowest rung on the social ladder.
Thank you very much. So the second issue in India involves oppression of the Dalits. What does it mean? Or the untouchable. What does it mean? For centuries, these people have been discriminated against as outcasts, and they are barely clinging to the lowest rung on the social ladder. So they are very discriminated against or being low on the social ladder. We have another challenge that face South Asian countries. What's the second challenge that faces people in South Asia? Let me say, Harim Buddha.
Okay. In Sri Lanka, Buddhists and Hindus engaged in a civil war that lasted several decades and cost more than
60,000.
60,000 lives.
Yes, that's it. This is the second one. So the second one, South Asian countries also face in Sri Lanka. Buddhists and Hinduism are engaged in a civil war. Why? It's not mentioning, he's not mentioning the reason, but from what we've studied in the history, why do you think there is a conflict between Hindus and Buddhists? Who can tell me about Hinduism and Buddhism? Lujain Ayman, tell me about... Yes, as a religion. Lujain Ayman, tell me about Hinduism.
Miss, can you repeat the question?
Tell me about Hinduism as a religion from what we studied in history.
Okay, 1 minute. يعني say I don't understand me. Okay.
Tell me about the religion, ya Luji, which you have answered many times.
ماشي. طب 1 minute بس يعني
Miss, can I say?
What can I say?
Give her time, please, guys.
Okay. مثلا الهندوism يعني okay, they believe in reincarnation يعني say what they believe in ولا
What does it mean, Hinduism?
they are it's a religion that they don't believe in no holy book.
Yes, they don't have holy book, huh? They don't have main core.
And they believe in reincarnation and karma, I guess.
Yes, they believe in reincarnation and karma. Who can continue? Adam Gwaid. Is Adam Gwaid here? I need one of the online students to answer. Yes, yeah, Adam, go ahead.
Has no founder and no holy book and no central set of core
Yes.
beliefs.
Thank you
And
very
it
much.
usually pay respect to the Vedas and take part in religious rituals.
Yes, thank you very much, yeah, Adam. Yes, they have no holy book, no common core, and they also no set of core, and also they believe in Vedas. What about Buddhism? What about Buddhism?
Miss, can you add Maya again?
Again, okay. What about Buddhism? Judy?
Okay, Buddhism. It's one of the four. 1 minute.
Yes, one of the six, not four.
The fourth, the sixth.
Sixth
the-
religion.
One of the six largest religions in India or in South Asia.
In general, yes.
It was founded by the what?
Buddha.
by Buddha حاجة.
Buddha, the
Something.
enlightened one. It's okay.
Yes, and he had the four noble truths,
Yes.
which I can't remember them. Yeah, but one of them that life is full of suffering.
Remember, life is full of suffering. Yeah, maybe you suffer from your teacher if you can't remember the rest. But anyway,
Yes.
life is full of suffering. Okay.
Yes, that's what I remember.
So both of them are different. So they had like conflicts. So who can tell me about the conflict between the Buddhism and Hinduism? They have engaged in a civil war that lasted for several decades and cost more than 60,000 lives. So this was the second challenge. The third one in Nepal. Who can tell me about the third one in Nepal? Hana Durgan.
Okay. A rebel group has been struggling since 1996 to overthrow democracy and establish a communist government.
Okay.
I complete?
Yes, that's it. So in Nepal, there was, no, thank you, Hannah. In Nepal, there was a rebel group that has struggling to overthrow democracy and establish a communist government. What's the difference between democracy and communism? As we have studied in East Asia, we said that East Asia was a communist society. So who can remember the difference between democracy and communism? Yes, Yamaya?
Democracy is like the equality between all types of classes,
Yes,
but
and
communist,
who rule the country? Is it only the government?
no.
It's also
The government is chosen by the people.
yes, government chosen by the people, and it's also the power of people beside the government. What about communism, Maya?
Communism, there is no social classes. All people are equal.
Yes, and everything is belongs to the
The government.
government. Everything is owned by the government and she distributed among people. But in democracy, we allow to have private ownerships. As I can hear some noise of plates and spoons. I'm so sorry to disturb you while you're having your breakfast, but please concentrate more with me, guys. Any breakfast or not?
مثلا في حاجة بترزع.
Is it a plate or a spoon?
No, it's like
معرفش في حاجة بترزع.
حاجة كده.
باب بقى معرفش. حاجة بترزع.
وش يا مس وحد بيخبط.
يعني you're having your late breakfast now?
هو مش بريكفاست هو حاجة بره أصلا.
you
ليت إيه يا مس الساعة 11.
Okay. كأن حد بيعمل
you mean the
كده
noise
معايا.
outside? It's on my building. They are changing the stairs. That's why they are
عشان كده.
stairs, yeah. Unfortunately, and they have started very early, like 6:30 in the morning. Thank you very much. Yes, let's continue our lesson. Let's move to the tribal people control. The last one in this part, tribal people control large parts of Pakistan, Afghanistan border. So on the borders of Pakistan and Afghanistan, the people who are living in tribes, they are controlling large parts of this area. So which differs from people who live inside, which are controlled by the government. And when tribes are controlling the borders, what will happen? Can you try to guess? Who can tell me if tribes are trying to control the borders, what will happen? They will have their own. Who can guess? Yes,
Just
yes.
can you repeat the question?
Okay. We said the last part of this paragraph that tribal people or people who are living in tribes are controlling large parts of Pakistan, Afghanistan border. What will happen to people inside this area if they are ruled by tribes? Who can tell me? Who can just try to guess? It's not mentioned here. If you are ruled by tribes, yes, Yamaya.
They will not fairly rule them, and they will be in inequality.
Maybe they will suffer from inequality because they are led by the leader of the tribe, and at the same time, they will not follow the main government. They will have their own set of rules. Okay?
Yes.
They will be having different set of rules from the rules for the government. Other challenges that involve, who can tell me about the other challenges? Hannah Tariq. Guys, I need the online students to participate. This is your chance. Hannah Tariq. Hannah Tariq.
What is the question again?
Again, the other challenges that face people in South Asia. What other challenges that face people there?
Miss Hala, sometimes her mic is not working. Yeah, عشان it's too loud.
Yes.
Okay, she's here.
Okay, go ahead.
Other challenges like involve health and environmental issues,
Yes.
and urban populations growing lack of infrastructure have led to water is also a major problem. And most of India's forest has been cut for timber or development. Water quality, wildlife habitats, and climate had been affected as a result.
Thank you very much, Yahala. So other challenges because of the overpopulation, which we have already covered in class, people there are suffering from environmental problems and issues. We said that the overpopulation will cause it. Of course, it will affect their health. The rapid population growth and the lack of infrastructure have led to water pollution and air pollution at the same time. Because they are having overpopulation, people will have lack of water and air pollution in many parts of South Asia. Also, another problem which is very common in India is the deforestation. People are cutting trees in order to get timber for trade or for development, to have more land for people to live on. So this will change the nature of everything. Water quality will be changed because no more rain will be falling. Wildlife habitats will be affected because wildlife needs rainforests to live in. Also, the climate will be affected because we know that forests affect the climate as a result. So this will have a great impact or influence over people there. So people are also suffering from the environmental issues. Also, beside the challenges, South Asia has achieved some success. How was South Asia achieving success? Kinzi Tahan?
The civil war in Sri Lanka has ended, and restoring the beaches to that island country. And the India has implemented the structure control on the air and the water population and government expenditures for the wildlife conservation having increased many times over.
Thank you, Kinsey. So South Asia has tried to achieve some success or tried to control their problems and challenges in meeting the challenges. First of all, the civil war in Sri Lanka has ended. This was a result. Number two, India has implemented strict control on air and water pollution. The third one, the government has made restrictions also for wildlife and have increased many times over. So now they are restricting for wildlife, they are restoring peace in Sri Lanka and implementing strict control on air and water pollution. These are the successes, the three successes. Who can repeat the three successes again? Fadia? Fadia,
Yes.
can you repeat the last part again? The South Asia success?
Yes. Other challenges involve health and environmental
No, I'm
issues.
not talking about this part. I'm talking about the last part, about the success.
Sorry. Okay. South Asia has achieved some success in meeting the challenges. The civil war in Sri Lanka has ended, restoring peace. So that island country. India has implemented stricter controls on air and water pollution,
Yes.
where government expenditures for wildlife conservation have increased many times over.
Thank you, Fadia, very much. So Fadia has been repeating the last part. Let's have a quick revision on the lesson as a whole. So we'll start from the beginning of the lesson. Yes. So from the beginning of the lesson, we said that South Asia is about half size of which country? And how many people are populating South Asia? Hana Hamdi?
It's about half the size of the lower 48 states of the United States,
Yes.
but it has more than the population of the United States. It has 1.5 million, more than 1.5 million people that live in a smaller region, in a smaller country than the United States.
Thank you very much. So we've talked about the population profile. Who can tell me how many people in India, Pakistan, and many countries? Reem?
Okay. The estimated population of India is 1.22 billion.
Mhm.
This makes it the world's second most populous country after China.
Yes.
I complete?
Yes.
Okay. India's birth rate is higher than China's. By 2030, India will be the world's most populous country. Today, India alone has about 17.3% of all the world's people. The median age of Indians is 25 years old.
Thank you. So that's what I wanted to know. India has higher birth rate, so it's the most populous country after China, and they have the median age of 25 years. Where people live in South Asia? Where people live? Let's see, Judy.
They live in good farming areas.
Yes. Where exactly? Around the?
Uh, ar- Around the fertile Ganges Plain in the north central and northeastern parts of the country.
Thank you very much. Okay, what's the main economic activity in India? Main economic activity in the area. Yusuf?
So can you see the hands?
Yes, I can see, but I want other people to answer, Yanano. Yusuf,
Yes.
tell me about the main economic activity in India.
In India,
Yes.
Indians are good in farming because
Yes.
they live in fertile Ganges plain in north central and northeastern parts of the country.
Okay. Where do people live? Do they live in villages or they live in cities? And what's the difference between where people live in India and in United States of America? Can tell me? Okay, Nano.
Miss, can you repeat the question again?
Where do people live in India and where do people live in United States? And how now is India becoming more like United States? Let's start by the first part, Diana. Where do people live in India? Do they live in villages or in the cities? Huh? Who can answer the question? Maya. Maya?
Miss, I thought
Miss Mir Nano.
Huh? Nano, do you know the answer or I move to Maya?
I know, but I thought my mic was unmuted.
Oh, it's okay. Yalla, go ahead.
About 7 of every 10 people live in the country's small villages.
Mm-hmm.
In contrast, the United States was already more urban than rural as early as 1920. The US residents live in urban areas.
So it's different from India, but now India is becoming more like the United States.
People are living in the urban areas.
All right. Let's move to the second part, which is people and culture. We have many ethnic and languages in South Asia. Let's talk about the ethnic groups. What ethnic groups live in South Asia? Maya?
Miss, are we talking about the languages or the...
Yes, languages and ethnic groups.
Okay. Languages include Punjabi in the north, Bengali and Oriya in the east,
Yes.
Meshi and Gujarati in the west,
Mm-hmm.
and Canada, Tamil,
Tamil,
and
Telugu in the
and
south.
in the south.
Yes, so we have many languages, but what's the official language in India? Or the two official languages? What are the two official languages in India?
Miss, can
Kinsey?
Hindu and English.
Yes,
Hindi and English.
Yes, Hindi and English are the two official languages in India, but we have other languages in the East, West, North, and South, which are very important to the people there. So people of India are very proud of their culture. If you find or you get the chance to meet someone who speaks in both languages, he will be proud to speak in English more than to speak in others dialects of a language. Okay. Also, you can find here on their money Mari note that it's both English and Hindu. It has their Hindu and their English. Also, we have many religions in South Asia. Who can tell me what are the 6 religions practiced in South Asia? Hana Durgam?
Okay. Hinduism, Islam, Buddhism, Jainism, Sikhism,
Yes.
Sikhism, and Christianity.
Yes. So we have from the other lesson we know Jainism, Buddhism, Hinduism, and Buddhism. And we also have Sikhism and Islam, also Christianity. So these are the 6 main religions. Which religion has in their diet not to eat meat? Which religion does not have meat in their diet?
Oh, it's a hand raised, Eunice.
Who?
Me. Fadia.
Who's talking? Fadia, yes, it is raised. But I'm moving up and down, that's why I can see all the hands. Yalla ya Fadia, ha, go ahead.
Jainism,
Jainism, why?
because they don't like to hunt animals as they're killing them.
Yes, because they believe in non-injury or non-hurt of any living creatures, so they don't hunt for animals and they don't eat any animals or meat. What did Jainism's people do in their economic activity, or they have changed their economic activity from what to what? Who can tell me?
Me.
Okay. ISIL, I
Can
can.
you repeat the question?
Jainism's followers have changed their economic activity from what to what? ISIL? Huh? Who can tell me? Hannah Hamdi.
Okay.
The
Okay.
history lesson. They have changed their economic activity. From what to what?
I think from farming to
Yes.
manufacturing.
Not manufacturing, to trade. They have changed
Sorry.
their economic activity from farming to trade in order to avoid killing or injury for any creature. Okay? Then we have moved to the last thing, the daily life. And we have talked about their food, which I said that they don't have meat as basic in their food. Then we said about the earning of their life. We said that they have green revolution, cottage industries. Okay, that's it for this lesson. I want you to read the whole lesson again. I will be uploading a worksheet today in order to be finished because you already finished the lesson. I will give you a due date till Saturday night. Okay, send it please through the assignments. Anyone want to ask
The homework?
about the lesson? Yes, the homework. Anyone want to ask any question about the lesson?
No, thank you.
See you on Sunday, inshallah. Bye.
Bye.